Well, good morning, everyone. We are so excited to be here, and I've actually never been so excited for the state of a parking lot. I don't know if anybody took notice when you pulled in how smooth and beautiful that parking lot is. So thank you to everyone, AEW and all the city staff who made the parking lot happen. We were hoping that it would be done in time for this event, and they made it, so that was a really big accomplishment, so thanks, guys. So good morning. Thank you for spending this Friday with us at Cairns Community Center. I would like to begin by thanking the Macomb County Chamber for the opportunity to present the State of Mount Clemens 2022 with all of you today. TCB Mentoring, Teresa Bryant, and the Macomb County Chamber staff have done a wonderful job preparing the setup for today's event. Thank you to our generous sponsors for today's program, MedStar, Anderson Eckstein and Westrick, AT&T, Beaumont, the United Shores Professional Baseball League, and GFL. In Mount Clemens, we are incredibly fortunate to have dedicated employees serving our city. I would like to thank all of them and acknowledge those who are with us this morning. If you would all stand, please, and be recognized. Mr. Greg Shipman is with us. Okay, you all have to stand. Sorry. they're a little. Hey, come on. Mr. Greg Shipman, our acting city manager, and all our department heads, firefighters are with us today. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I'd also like to recognize my colleague who could make it with us today, Mr. Commissioner Glenn Voorhees. Thank you, Glenn, for being here. The Mount Clemens City Commission, along with the city staff, spent the first quarter of 2022 evaluating our 2021 strategic plan and developing our path forward for 2022. Again, we developed a comprehensive plan that would guide us with our priorities and our resources. Our finance director, Cliff Mason, then formulated a budget that coincided with our strategic plan. One of the goals in the strategic plan was recreation for all city residents will be enhanced as resources allow and collaborations are forged. This goal was formulated because of the lack of recreation in our community. In 2007, our recreation department was disbanded because of budget cuts. In many communities' surveys, it was clear that Mount Clemens was lacking in programming for all of our neighborhoods. Community recreation brings people together, provides senior livelihood, family experiences, and kids opportunity to engage in safe, inclusive environments. People invest in communities where they can live, work, and play. Parks and recreation are the gateway to healthy, active, thriving, connected communities. Committed to improving quality of life through people, peace, park, programs, and preservation makes recreation the pillar in a prosperous community. The challenge remained that we have limited resources and could not afford to fully fund a comprehensive recreation program. We were fortunate to partner with TCB Youth Mentoring to bring recreational opportunities to low or no cost at the Cairns Community Center, Olson Park, Shadyside Park. These activities included Michigan Monster Basketball League, Teen Talk Nights, Movies with Miles, Kickball League, Mount Clemens Crochet Club, the Old and Young Alumni Dance Association, and many more. Along with this partnership, the city made a significant investment in hiring a recreation coordinator, Amanda Bowers. Amanda, will you please stand and be recognized? Amanda comes to us from Chesterfield Township with a knowledge of building programs and collaborating with community partners to provide a well-rounded recreation program. Amanda has begun programming Wilson Gymnasium with programs such as senior cardio drumming, adult Tai Chi, chair yoga, and Fitness Stars Stretch and Grow from Macomb County. Collaboration is a key component to make limited resources stretch. Our partnership with Advancing Macomb has brought many opportunities, including, but not limited to, increasing the presence of art, developing a play fountain at Shadyside Park, obtaining a $240,000 appropriation from Congress for capital improvements for this building. And those are just the items that happened this year. I would like to introduce to you today Diane Banks, Executive Director of Advancing Macomb. Diane has been an integral partner in the revitalization in Mount Clemens, and she's going to give us a few words about their role in our success. Please welcome Diane Banks.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Kropp, for including me to be part of the State of the City address this morning. It's really symbolic of partnership and the power of partnership, so thank you for that invitation. And thank you to the Chamber for hosting the event here this morning. There's a lot of pride in this building and in this community. So, it would have been easier to probably have this event at a banquet hall or somewhere else. So thank you for the work put into that. But it's great to spotlight this center today and talk about the partnership that's happened to make it a reality. So for those of you who are not familiar, oops, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. With Advancing Macomb, I just wanted to give you a little snapshot of our organization. Advancing Macomb is a 501c3 that connects and convenes resources to improve quality of life. We began in 2014, and our mission is to strengthen Macomb County by connecting community challenges with high-impact solutions. We have a 22-person board of directors that represent corporate and community leaders that all have a connection and a dedication to Macomb County. And we are funded by those corporate partners and philanthropic grants. We have really two main focus areas. Our work falls into two buckets. One is strengthening the charitable infrastructure in Macomb County. We know that nonprofits in Macomb are underserved, and we need to bring in more resources to support those organizations that work so hard to solve problems in our communities. The other main focus area is in quality of life projects, and that's where a lot of our work has happened here in Mount Clemens. And this work around quality of life actually has been researched and strengthened actually recently this year through the Brookings Institute. Our strategy was confirmed through the research to show that economic development, especially in small Midwest towns, are more successful and bigger contributors to a healthy economy by focusing on quality of life projects than the traditional business-friendly measures such as tax incentives. Through the study, they advised that places looking for levers of economic development can be guided by the same wisdom that business leaders have always known. It's much easier to attract new customers when you make your current customers happy. Improving quality of life for current residents in small towns can be a driving force for community renewal that we so eagerly seek. Additionally, improving quality of life in a place improves economic success not only in their own town, but for the nearby communities with their ability to enjoy those amenities. So our momentum in Mount Clemens began actually in 2018. My predecessor, Melissa Roy, held a summit at Emerald Theater to gather input and suggestions from the community about what they would like to see in the city of Mount Clemens. And while there was, of course, a big focus on strengthening the downtown, there was also an overwhelming message around community amenities, improving culture and entertainment opportunities, and of course, bringing in recreation, investing in Parks and Rec. So when I came on 2019, we had one of the first events I participated in was the kayak launch on the Clinton River at MacArthur Park, which connected the water trails to downtown Mount Clemens. And then we also brought in some funding through grant support for 4 murals in the downtown area. These murals have been a big draw for families, senior pictures. I even recently came across a TikTok video where our governor was standing outside the alleyway there. So it's a great backdrop, and it is a really great draw to the downtown area. So that was a great partnership with the city, the Anton Arts Center, and really solidified the city as that hub for culture and arts, and we'll be able to grow that going forward. Mayor Kropp touched on the importance of investing in parks and recreation, and research through Project Play, which is a national initiative to improve parks and recreation, has shown that communities that invest in parks and recreation see direct impact to a variety of indicators for a healthy economy, including higher graduation rates, lower unemployment, and of course, health indicators as well. So investing in parks and recreation is super important. And for small communities, that can be challenging. So finding collaboration, areas to partner, tapping into existing resources such as nonprofit organizations and youth sports organizations is the key to investing in parks and recreation in small communities. So in 2020, I was approached by Thomas Barnes, and he had an overwhelming and compelling story about the importance of recreation in building community. And here in Mount Clemens, because many of the kids, the youth that live here go to many different school districts, there wasn't that opportunity because the city had to cut recreation from their budget to bring those kids together and build that sense of community here in Mount Clemens. So all of the research that we know around parks and recreation, in addition to the experience, the lived experience of the community members not having access to those parks and recreation, we knew that this was a priority for helping the city of Mount Clemens. So we were approached by the Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan for a pilot program that they were launching to try to increase access to youth sports through a program called Sportport. This was a sports equipment lending library. So Advancing Macomb applied for that grant, and we received the largest grant award in the region for this project. We had 3 facilities that we'd be renting sports equipment out of, including Cairns Community Center. Of course, timing's everything, and that program was going to launch February 2020. So we had to pivot quickly, and fortunately, because we had such a great team of people here in Mount Clemens, we were connected with the library, with the city, even the Art Center and some of the youth sports organizations. We were able to lead a regional effort to distribute play packs to youth, and we distributed 3,000 play packs in the summer of 2020 to youth in Mount Clemens so that they could have some equipment at home and something to do to help the physical and mental health of the youth during the pandemic. So we continued that regional collaborative and representing Macomb County through the Sportport initiative. But our partners recognized that we needed more than just the sports equipment. So it's great, you can get kids basketballs and baseballs and gloves, but if you don't have that wraparound programming, then there was something lost. So we needed to continue to part with other sports organizations, including the Metro Detroit Y and the Fly, and the YMCA, to do pop-up programming and expand the recreation options for kids in Mount Clemens. And this year, it's been a 3-year process, but we knew the importance of this center in this community. And during the pandemic, unfortunately, it was closed. There was chains on the doors, barricades in the parking lot. We weren't able to use it for the recreation. Even though we had the sports equipment, because the building was closed due to lack of funding and operational partners, we weren't able to have any of those programs or that equipment here at the center. So over a couple years, we worked with the city to try to find an innovative approach to reopening the Cairns Community Center. It did reopen this year, and immediately we've had so much participation from the area youth. Tommy started a basketball clinic. We had 80 kids in the gym here in the summertime, and it was just great to see. A lot of the work we do is behind the scenes, grant writing, building those relationships, but to actually see the kids here in the center enjoying it really, was very meaningful. We also launched the Breaking Barriers to Play program, which is a coalition approach to lowering the cost of recreation by tapping into existing resources such as those small nonprofit organizations and other nonprofits to try to lower that cost of recreation for municipalities. We've launched that here in Mount Clemens. Fraser is also partnering with us on this project, and we hope to expand it more and further into the county. This year we also were able to complete a play fountain project at Shadyside Park. This was, again, community-led. They were looking for more opportunities and more investment into Shadyside Park. So that play fountain project, thanks to 100 donors and all of our community partners, we were able to cut the ribbon on that in August. And again, very appreciative of all of our partners that were involved with that and the community that have been able to enjoy that, and we'll be happy to see them out there next summer. We'll continue to work with the city on planting trees and continuing to beautify that area around Shadyside Park. Our impact over the last 3 years, we've been able to convene $1 million just for projects here in Mount Clemens. Between Cairns Center investment that Mayor Kropp mentioned earlier, the recreation projects, any of these quality of life projects, we've been able to convene $1 million for that and triple that for our impact throughout Macomb County. So we really use Mount Clemens as an example of how we can bring partners together in collaboration to convene more resources for quality of life projects. We'll continue to work with other communities throughout Macomb County, and our role is really specific. We cement cross-sector partnerships, we secure funding and other resources for the projects that we talked about today, and continue to increase visibility for Macomb County communities as well. Thank you all. Thank you again, Mayor Kropp, for inviting me, and we look forward to continuing the potential impact here in Mount Clemens.
Thank you to Diane. You can see why I had to invite her to speak today. She's just done such a tremendous job for us. Another partner in the success of the revitalization of Mount Clemens is the Downtown Development Authority. With the help of the DDA, our vacancy rate has decreased dramatically in downtown. We continue to see new businesses open their doors, increasing the amount of retail, restaurant, and occupied offices downtown. Opening since November 2021 are Black Cat Coffee, Clementine's Pastries, DeFalco Farm Bureau Agency, Capture a Moment Photography, Cherry Street Nutrition, Yaya's Plant Shop, Switulski Law opened their new offices, Natural Healing Therapeutic Massage, Vanguard Insurance Group, and Sweet D's Antique Boutique. In addition to new businesses opening, the DDA has received a grant from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation of $813,000. Yes. Yes, definitely. This grant is going to assist in the Cherry Street Mall revitalization project. This project will address infrastructure issues along the mall and adjacent properties. The Cherry Street will have an emphasis on green infrastructure and placemaking for our residents. This summer proved to be a fun time in downtown. The DDA, along with many local sponsors, provided 12 weeks of Friday night concerts at the Fountain Stage. We brought back, by popular demand and the help of the Petiprin distributors, the Riversite and Sound concert series, and it returned to the gazebo stage. The DDA continued to provide events and entertainment all year round with upcoming events like the Spooktacular that's going to happen October 22nd, the Zombie and Monster Parade on Saturday, October 29th, the Christmas Open House and Tree Lighting Friday, November 18th, and the 47th Annual Mount Clemens Santa Parade on November 19th. The Mount Clemens Light Parade will end us in the holiday spirit with December 10th. If you're interested in sponsoring any of these upcoming events, hint, hint, please contact Michelle Weiss after today's event by calling 469-4168. In addition to events, we are excited to announce that the DDA has received a matching grant of $12,000 from Macomb County, so thank you, Macomb County. This money, along with an investment from the DDA, will enable us to hang holiday lights from Macomb Place between Pine and southbound Gratiot, and all of Walnut Street. We believe downtown will be a beautiful place to spend this holiday season. Don't forget to shop locally. We're happy to announce a new collaboration between the Mount Clemens Downtown Development Authority and HunchFree. HunchFree is a local digital marketing agency that will help us increase our social media presence and our reach. Our goal is to gain a greater exposure and digital reach for promoting our downtown businesses and events. We're confident in HunchFree's expertise and experience in the industry, and we are excited to work with them. Our cable TV department, the Macomb Cable Network, which is shared with the school district, had an incredible 2021-22 season. They made major improvements in 3 key areas: service, communication to residents, and educational offerings. In June of 2021, WOW Cable Company replaced their standard definition analog channel modulators with digital high definition and signal transports. And I'm sure that Patrick knows what that means. So now you can see us all in HD. They've been in service since 2000, and in November 2021, we received news that WOW has increased by 3 channels, and that is the government, education, and public access on their new WOW TV streaming platform. And this is completed at no cost to residents. In October, Comcast also replaced their standard definition analog modulators with digital, got it, high definition signal transports. These modulators had been in service since the mid-1990s. Right now, Comcast is not offering our cable access channels on their HD channel lineup, but when they do, Mount Clemens customers will receive their cable access channels in HD. I think that we should also be notified, Patrick, because we all need to be notified of how we'll look in HD. So our cable staff was integral in improving our city's website. Our new website incorporates the new city branding as well as the new navigation. The goal is to make everything available from the homepage within 2 clicks. We also have a new web address, mountclemens.gov. Our new website works great on all platforms with a strong focus on mobile devices. Residents can now request community calendar messages and marquee sign messages from the website. Residents can also register to receive email and text messages in the event of emergency. We posted 20 alert notifications in the past 12 months. Again, these improvements were made at no additional cost to residents. The Mount Clemens Ice Arena had another amazing season. It was our first season back to full capacity since COVID. It was magical seeing the building filled with customers again. People came in from all over the world to watch a hockey game, to watch a figure skating show, or just to skate themselves. We saw public session numbers skyrocket back up this season. Our weekend DJ skates brought in over 300 skaters a session. Christmas break skates had lines out the front door of people waiting in line to get on the ice. Public sessions are our favorite part of programming. It brings customers of all ages and from our local communities into our building. Teens, families, schools, and church groups all spent their free time enjoying the arena. Last year was the first season that the Mount Clemens Ice Arena became the home ice for the Metro Jets Junior A Hockey Club. The Metro Jets is one of the top junior clubs in the United States. The Metro Jets will host 2 teams with over 50 players between them. While 80% of those players are from Michigan, we also bring in players from all over the world to skate here. This year we have kids from Belgium, France, and Russia on the team. Most importantly, Jets players last season earned over $1.4 million in scholarships to play college hockey. During their first season here, they played 24 home games at the Mount Clemens Ice Arena. Their games brought in busloads of players, coaches, and fans from over 20 different states. It's great hockey to watch. They bring quality, high-level hockey to Mount Clemens. Some games had over 300 spectators. We hope that more people from the community start to join the fan base. The Mount Clemens Figure Skating Club got back at it this season after being shut down from the competition for nearly 2 full years. They had 5 girls qualified to compete at the 2022 National Championship. To qualify, they competed and won at 4 different events around the Midwest. The National Championship took place in Boston, Massachusetts in July. The girls represented Mount Clemens with such pride and poise out there. We couldn't be prouder. The Mount Clemens Figure Skating also hosted a Christmas show, and the shows are a great way to share the magic of figure skating with our community. Again, this year, the Ice Arena continued their winning streak with the WDIV Best of and Macomb Daly's Best of awards. Our community development department has been busy with 2 recent large-scale projects. Edison Crossing, a 31-unit affordable housing development. This development is located on northbound Gratiot, just south of Cass. The second project is a 12,000 square foot commercial development on Groesbeck in front of our current Planet Fitness. This department is also exploring a new method to blight enforcement that is modeled after cities such as Port Huron and Jackson. We hope next year to bring you news of its development and success. This year, the city said goodbye to retiree Laurel Emerson of Community Development and welcomed Dale Doptis and Doug Schmidt to Dial-A-Ride, Carlin Kirkendale, and Matt Naraki in the Water and Sewer Departments. We thank Laurel for her years of service and welcome all of our new employees to our team. Safe, secure, and accurate elections remain the #1 priority for the Mount Clemens City Clerk's Office. To help accomplish this goal, the departments will be receiving a $9,000 security grant from the Michigan Department of State. This money will be used to purchase new electronic poll books and a hash verification system to test the software and firmware. These files are at a digital level to ensure that no files have been manipulated. Hash verification is recommended by cybersecurity specialists as well as at both the state and federal officials. In 2022, our State Department helped complete, our Streets Department, not our States Department, helped complete Zones 7 and 8 in our sidewalk program with a total cost of $413,611. We plan to move to Zones 9 and 10 in the spring of 2023. This will bring the residential portion of the sidewalk program to a close. This is several years earlier than we had once planned. The DPS department has also helped monitor the proper completion of the consumer's energy line replacement within our city boundaries. In addition to sidewalks, DPS monitored the $2.1 million project of resurfacing North River Road, implementing a $738,000 local streets matching program, and helped the installation of the Cascade in the Shade fountain. The Mount Clemens Fire Department received a $30,000 Partners in Public Art grant to partner with the DIA for the mural on the side of the fire station. This mural has taken community input and selected a local artist group to design and paint on the side of the fire station. We look forward to the installation beginning in the spring of 2023. It's been 15 years since the fire department has had a dedicated fire inspector on staff. This summer, we hired firefighter Josh Ringstad to be our full-time fire inspector. Chief Shipman applied for and received a $32,240 Assistance to Firefighter grant to purchase rescue equipment. This will enable the city to purchase equipment for our firefighters that we otherwise would be unable to afford. Speaking of Chief Greg Shipman, in June, the commission received the resignation of Don Johnson, our now former city manager. When it came to decide who the commission would appoint as our acting city manager, Greg dutifully stepped up, accepting the challenge to serve. On behalf of the citizens of Mount Clemens, and especially my fellow members of the commission, we'd like to thank you for helping us lead the city forward. We know the city is well cared for while you're at the helm. Throughout this speech, I've mentioned several grants that have been awarded to Mount Clemens. Back in February, we received word that the Art Space Committee had been awarded a $750,000 congressional appropriation for the future development that will provide affordable live workspace for artists. We are excited for this project to enter phase 3 of 5. And I'd like to thank Phil Gilchrist, who's here today, who heads the Art Space Committee. Congratulations, Phil. Don't you think that's going to look, this isn't our rendering, but this is one of their renderings, and we think this is pretty fantastic. So I think it'll fit nicely in Mount Clemens. When I look towards 2023, I know that Mount Clemens City Commission has big decisions to make. We must take care of our aging infrastructure. And those aren't necessarily popular decisions. But we must take care of that infrastructure in our city buildings. My hope is that we meet these challenges with an eye towards opportunity and growth. The initiatives that I've named today are excellent examples of planning and executing the plans. I will continue to push for strategic planning, collaboration, and promoting a positive perception of our great city. When you see our new city logo, I hope it reminds you of all the hands that are helping to make this tremendous amount of work lighter. The hands that belong to Carl, who is busy mentoring youth in town. Those of Junia, who is most likely out preparing city flower beds for winter. Or those of the neighbors on Jones Street, who continue to check on one another even after the quarantine is over. Or Jack, who's working late at the county building to try and bring businesses to the city he lives in. These are just a small sampling of the amazing people who live and work in Mount Clemens. They are the ones who are quietly transforming Mount Clemens in tremendous ways. Thank you so much for everyone for attending and for having your part in making the revitalization of Mount Clemens happen.